Hey, welcome to the Explainer. Right now, all around you, there's this invisible network. It's connecting billions of different devices, everything from the watch on your wrist to entire city grids. So today, we're going to make that network visible. We're diving into the Internet of Things.
And hey, right off the bat, if you're into digging into complex topics and really understanding how things work, you know what to do. Go ahead and hit that subscribe button, because we have a lot more explainers just like this one coming your way.
So let's just start with a thought. What if your world just worked for you? I mean, really think about that. A reality where everything just happens automatically right when you need it to, without you even having to think about it.
Well, that's not exactly science fiction anymore. And to really get what this means, let's start with a story. I want you to meet Rohan. He's a young engineering student, and we're going to see how his day begins.
Okay, so Rohan's alarm rings, but that's just the first domino. The second it goes off, his curtains slide open to let the sun in, the coffee machine in the kitchen starts brewing, and the lights in his room gently brighten up. His whole morning routine just happens. It's like a perfectly coordinated dance, and he hasn't lifted a finger.
So what's the magic behind this? Well, it's a technology called the Internet of Things, or IoT for short. And the idea behind it is actually pretty simple, but it's incredibly powerful. You take everyday objects, connect them to the internet, and suddenly they can collect data, talk to each other, and do things automatically. That's the secret to Rohan's perfect morning.
But how? How do these things actually talk to each other? How does a coffee maker know it's time to start brewing? Let's pull back the curtain and make this invisible network visible. A smart sprinkler system is a perfect example. It runs on a really simple 4-step loop. Okay, step 1, it senses. Sensors in the ground measure how moist the soil is. Step 2, it communicates. That data gets set up to a server in the cloud. Step 3, the system decides if the garden actually needs water. And finally, step 4, it acts. It either turns the sprinkler on or it keeps it off. Sense, communicate, decide, act. That's pretty much the blueprint for all of IoT. After Rohan explained this to his grandfather, he just looked at him and asked, "So the plants are now talking to the machines?" And honestly, that's a fantastic and surprisingly accurate way to think about it. Yes, they are. So, what does all of this add up to? Well, it's one massive benefit: automation. And this isn't just about making things more convenient. This is about saving incredible amounts of time, cutting down on manual work, and just making everything more efficient, from our homes all the way up to our biggest industries. But IoT gets so much bigger than just a smooth morning routine. This technology is being used to build smarter and even safer lives for all of us. It scales up from our homes to entire cities. I mean, think about this shift. Before IoT, a nurse had to walk around and manually check a patient's vital signs. Traffic lights just ran on fixed timers, no matter how much traffic there was. But now, with IoT, a little wearable device can send a real-time health alert straight to a doctor's phone, and traffic lights can adjust on the fly based on the actual flow of cars. We're moving from being reactive to being proactive. It's a total game changer. Let's dig into healthcare for a second. We're talking about devices that continuously collect data from patients, sending instant alerts to doctors if something's wrong. Think about remote monitoring for elderly relatives who live alone. These aren't just small tweaks. These systems can be genuinely life-saving by slashing emergency response times. And what about in our cities? Well, the impact there is just as huge. Those smart traffic systems we mentioned, they lead to fewer traffic jams. That in turn means we're all using less fuel, which improves the energy efficiency of the entire city. It's a win-win-win. Now here's where it gets really cool. Once you understand the basics of how IoT works, you can stop just being a user of it. You can become a creator. And that is exactly what Rohan decided to do. He started using IoT to solve real, everyday problems he saw around him. So, what was his first project? A smart parking system. Because we've all been there, right? Just endlessly circling a parking lot, getting more and more frustrated. His IoT solution was simple. Put sensors in the parking spots to see which ones are open, and then use an app to guide drivers straight to them. Problem solved. For his next project, he tackled overflowing garbage bins. His solution? Again, super smart. Put sensors inside the bins to measure how full they are. That way, they can automatically send an alert to the collection teams only when a pickup is actually needed. No more wasted trips for the city, and much cleaner streets for everyone. What projects like these really show us is that IoT is busy weaving this incredible, invisible network of connected intelligence all around us. It's giving us a pretty clear peek into our deeply interconnected future. and its reach is just vast. You see it in manufacturing, where it's used for predictive maintenance to stop machines from breaking down. You see it in logistics, for tracking shipments across the globe, in retail for keeping smart inventory, even in environmental science for monitoring pollution in real time. It's quietly becoming a part of almost everything. But, of course, connecting every single thing in our world also creates some enormous new challenges. And as with any technology this powerful, we really have to think about the responsibilities that come along with it. And that brings us to what might be the single biggest question facing IoT. As we connect billions of devices, everything from our heart monitors to our city's power grids, how in the world do we keep all of that incredibly personal and critical data secure and private? This is the challenge we all have to solve to be able to truly trust this invisible network. The story of the Internet of Things is really far from over. In fact, it's still being written every single day. And that leaves us with one final and, I think, really exciting question to think about. What will you connect next? If you're curious and you want to learn more, or maybe see some of the sources we use to put this explainer together, you can find a link to our website in the pinned comment and the description below. Thanks so much for watching.